Although Family Guy is known for being edgy, I feel like they wouldn't even make this episode today. And not because they're making fun of the illness, but because simply saying the word in today's climate is considered crossing the line. However, this episode was needed because it gives great context on why Peter acts the way he does, even though we didn't need an episode to confirm our suspicions. It begins with Lois and Peter having game night with their friends. At a certain point, they're about to play paintball, but Brian reveals that he forgot the paintball guns. Joe says he has real guns from his office, and they decide to play with real guns. Everyone is shooting at each other until Peter shoots Quagmire. They continue playing games and are now playing trivia. Peter gets asked what color is a fire truck, but Peter has a hard time figuring out the answer. After game night finishes, Peter is feeling himself because he won trivia. Brian asks Lois if she ever realizes that she's married to an idiot. Lois says she just suppresses the fact that they're married. As time continues, Peter is being pretentious over his trivia victory, but Brian says Peter can prove he's actually smart by applying to the MacArthur Genius Grant. Once Peter gets his results, we see that he's not smart and instead is actually retarded. Peter and Lois go to a doctor to check, and the doctor tells them his analysis. He confirms that Peter is indeed retarded. Peter and Lois go home, and we see Peter make a phone call.
Hello, Sally? Hey, it's Peter Griffin. Yeah, it's right, senior prom. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. So, listen, I just found out I'm retarded, and I'm just calling to let you know you might want to get yourself tested. Hello?
Brian rubs it in Peter's face that he isn't as smart as he thought. We then see the city put up a sign out front of the Griffin's home for Peter's safety. The episode continues with Peter and Lois going to dinner. The restaurant gave Peter a helmet and water wings to help him due to being retarded, but they didn't help and Peter almost drowns in a bowl of soup. They then leave and on their way home end up running over Tom Tucker. Tucker is angry until he sees that it's Peter. He tells Peter not to worry about it because he's retarded, and quickly Peter realizes he can use his mental disability to his advantage. The next day in Mass, Peter starts a Bible fight and also goes kicking down bathroom stalls in the women's restroom. At home, Peter introduces his state-appointed inspirational social worker, but it quickly annoys Peter's family. The shenanigans continue with Peter going to a fast food restaurant and starts acting out. Peter refers to it as his first trip to a fast food place as a retarded guy. Peter ends up pulling out a machine from the restaurant's kitchen and covers Lois in hot cooking oil. Lois ends up in the hospital and Peter feels bad. Child Services then walks into the hospital room. They tell Peter that his kids are getting taken away since Peter is mentally unfit to take care of them. We see that Cleveland agreed to take care of Peter's kids in the meantime. Lois is still in the hospital, and while they're in there, Peter has to use the restroom. There isn't any toilet paper, so he uses the cast Lois is in. Brian then walks in and tells Peter that the doctors don't know how much longer Lois will stay in the hospital. Peter feels bad for putting Lois in the hospital and losing his kids. Brian tells him that he just needs to prove he's a worthy father to get back custody. Peter says he knows what to do, and it's to make Cleveland look like a bad father. Later that night, Peter takes hookers to Cleveland's home. The social worker walks in with Cleveland, but the social worker tells Peter that this isn't going to work and he won't get back custody. The social worker then takes Peter to court.
Your Honor, I would like to call to the stand my surprise witness, the ghost that never lies. Ooh. But I'm the only one who can see him and hear him, so I'll let everyone know what he's saying and doing.
Objection, Your Honor. This is ridiculous.
Peter is about to lose, but he starts talking from his heart. He tells the judge that he just wants his kids back, but the judge isn't moved. The judge actually says he would like to put Peter in a place removed from the general public. Peter doesn't get custody of his kids. The episode ends with Peter back at home bummed out he doesn't have his family back. But then Lois walks in looking brand new and surprises Peter with his kids. Lois managed to get custody back of them. I don't know why or how retarded became forbidden, but it just did. Regardless of that, this episode is still entertaining and funny to this day. Seeing how Peter used his mental disability to his advantage and never allowed it to make him sad. He only got sad once he lost his family, but never when they diagnosed him or when people were treating him like a little kid. I guess in a weird way, someone can get inspired by seeing Peter not letting a mental illness ruin his life. I'm glad they also kept it realistic and took away his kids. In real life, if the father is mentally unfit, then he would also lose custody. I can see why people wouldn't like this episode. whether that's because they get offended easily or if they just don't like seeing Peter use his disability as an excuse. But I don't think you should get offended. The episode is simply showing how Peter didn't let his diagnosis tear him down.